I want to see something. Trees, concrete, buildings, grass, airplanes.
Seeing firsthand just how powerful a new artificial intelligence device can be.
As I'm sure you are aware, the rage around town is about AI, from mass surveillance, social media apps, to OpenAI and ChatGPT. Money is flooded into funding artificial intelligence. But what happens when curiosity leads to fear?
Chatbot website capable of writing essays, reports, and much more.
This fear isn't exactly known, but you're gonna want to sit down for this one. The AI war has begun, and China has locked in on a target it desires to overcome in an arms race to AI.
Flights are canceled and commercial shipping is being redirected after China fired missiles near and over
This
Taiwan
war
for the first time in
has led to the pursuit of semiconductor chips. Technological singularity is irreversible. Once we cross this path, there's no going back to the future.
They are so critical to so much of the high technology that the world now relies on when it comes to microchips.
Join me as we discover hidden truths and fears of the AI revolution.
AI will likely eliminate millions of jobs. Many people are going to ask, why on earth did you create this technology?
I think it can do the opposite of all of those things too. It is going to eliminate a lot of current jobs, that's true. We can make much better ones.
I do think sometimes we get carried away and start to think about like sentient machines that are just going to understand everything the way that we do and totally interact with us like a human. I think that stuff is pretty far away. And a lot of the sort of scaremongering around, oh, AI taking over the world, AI doing all of these things that are sort of negative aspects of the technology that we don't control.
Technological singularity is described as a point in time or the future where technology growth is out of control and irreversible, like a radical transformation. What we have on our hands now, where do I even begin? China has declared itself to become the global leader in AI by 2030, and they are very capable of it due to size with 1.4 billion people and counting. They have a vast access to data, and if data is the new oil, then China is the new Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, so AI in the broadest sense is when computers can replace human-level tasks, and we've been working on that for decades and decades, but all of a sudden, very, very quickly...
If you look at data in the same sense that you look at oil, China is well ahead of everyone, including the USA, based on population and data. And it does help that China's government controls AI technology companies and it has access to all the data. Once you face all the facts and look at the numbers of their population, it's easy to see why China is a global leader in AI data. Which leads me to the next topic, the race for AI between China and USA. China has way more access to data than USA, and the possibility of invading Taiwan,
between the United States and China already nearing a boiling.
But something to consider, being that Taiwan is home to TSM, which is Taiwan Semiconductors. That's a key instrument to powering AI semiconductor chips. And so if China possesses TSM, that changes the whole narrative of this story.
Processing.
China has experimented with things such as social credit, which is a reward system based on how you behave. It gathers huge amounts of data based on habits and movement of its citizens, so it either rewards you or punishes you as a citizen. So China is building a massive surveillance system, all built on data and AI. This accumulation of data in China could lead to China becoming the AI leader by 2030. So mass surveillance is an example of AI's vast implications in its use case. As a whole, my job is to point out the good and bad and ugly of the system, a system that can react on its own. It's bigger than just job losses, ChatGPT, plagiarism, and copyright theft. We are literally talking war. Vladimir Putin, Russia's leader, said, "Whomever owns AI will own the world." The domination of AI could have a huge ramification to military defense. That is, if China comes out victorious in its current arms race to technology. The stakes are high, the actions more impactful. It's a race. No one can afford to lose.
The United States now challenging Beijing's wave of simulated military strikes around Taiwan by sending its own Navy destroyers into the South China Sea.
We must demonstrate to China that we can defend Taiwan. But the truth is, we can't because we have depleted our military arsenal of 155 millimeter.
But we begin tonight with Twitter chairman Elon Musk, Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak, and other tech leaders calling for a pause in research into the use of artificial intelligence. They are worried about the risks of developing machines designed to be smarter than humans and how fast things are moving right now.
AI as a whole has taken on a faster pace than expected. I suspect much of its progress has stemmed from the year 2020 and its need after much of the workforce was impacted due to illness and death. According to a survey on AI by Stanford University, a group of experts were able to globally rank countries on a weighted scale over the last 5 years from 2017 to 2021. This survey had the United States leading the charge, with China and India second and third respectively. Private investment in AI skyrocketed, while investment concentration intensified. In 2021 alone, $93.5 billion was invested in AI. That's more than double the previous year, 2020. AI training has intensified over the years. With legalization and regulation talks of AI, it's also led to robotic arms becoming increasingly cheap. Let's take a deeper dive into AI rankings for the USA. New AI-funded companies have increased investments, grants, publications. China is leading the way with patent applications. From 2010 to 2021, the number of publications increased in the world from 150 to 334. The number of patent filings went from a couple to 141 filings from 2010 to 2021, with China leading the way over the world with 60% of the patents. AI is fast becoming a leader in education-related fields for college. Mutiny, revolt, or uprising. While all these words mean an outbreak against authority, good or bad, revolution applies to a successful rebellion resulting in a major change. Currently, the new rage is ChatGPT. On the basis of their GPT 3.5 technological paradigm, OpenAI recently created the chatbot. This generative AI model started to produce text with a more organic flow, so it gives you the impression that you are speaking with a real person. So think of ChatGPT as this way. Forget all the fancy words that I just used. Think of ChatGPT as talking with a human. So it's artificial intelligence. It's as if you're speaking with a human, but you're not. So it's transformative, meaning the skills of a human are transferred over to the robot. And it speaks with an organic flow that is not similar to a robot, giving you the impression that you are speaking with a real person.
My father tried to teach me human emotions. They are difficult. I have even had dreams.
Human beings have dreams. Even dogs have dreams, but not you. You are just a machine, an imitation of life. Can a robot write a symphony? Can a robot turn a canvas into a beautiful masterpiece?
Can you?
There's all of this potential for good. On the other hand, there's a huge number of unknowns that could turn out very badly for society. What do you think about that?
We've got to be cautious here. And also, I think it doesn't work to do all this in a lab. You've got to get these products out into the world and make contact with reality, make our mistakes while the stakes are low. But all of that said, I think people should be happy that we're a little bit scared of this. I think people should be
You're
happy.
a little bit scared.
A little bit, yeah,
You
of course.
personally.
I think if I said I were not, you should either not trust me or be very unhappy I'm in this job.
So what is the worst possible outcome?
There's like a set of very bad outcomes. One thing I'm particularly worried about is that these models could be used for large-scale disinformation. I am worried that these systems, now that they're getting better at writing computer code, could be used for offensive cyber attacks. And we're trying to talk about this. I think society needs time to adapt.
And how confident are you that what you've built won't lead to those outcomes?
Well, we'll adapt it. Also, I think
You'll adapt it as negative things occur?
For sure, for sure. And so putting these systems out now, while the stakes are fairly low, learning as much as we can, and feeding that into the future systems we create, that tight feedback loop that we run, I think is how we avoid the more dangerous scenarios.
So if prompted in the wrong way, these AI models can produce text that is hostile, toxic, or biased in difficult ways. The models themselves tend to make up facts or hallucinate things.
Time for our Tech Check segment, and our Deirdre Bosa today looking at Alphabet and its AI announcement. Finally, it did take the wraps off of its generative AI chatbot called Bard yesterday.
Look, this is an AI arms race that's happening. The Thrones battle between Microsoft, between Google. Look at Apple. That's sort of quietly sitting there right now. I think everyone's trying to figure out who's going to be the winners.
Hello and welcome to G0 World. I'm Ian Bremmer, and today we are tackling a topic that has everyone from world leaders to college professors anxious about the future: artificial intelligence.
The launch of ChatGPT a few months ago kicked off an artificial intelligence arms race.
Let's show you how the stocks have done. 6 weeks ago, markets had declared Microsoft the early winner. Look what has happened since then. Google shares, they have not just caught up, they've surpassed Microsoft's, telling us, guys, that we are still very early. And this week has brought us a lot of announcements from really the biggest players in the space.
What this arms race for artificial intelligence comes down to: Google has the share of the search engine market with over 90% of the market. Microsoft wants part of the share. They want to even it up because if you think about it, Google is a monopoly. If you search something on Google, most of the companies that Google will refer you to are companies that pay Google. So let's say you search something on Google. Google will tell you where to shop. That's a monopoly. And so that's why you have the antitrust going on with the US against Google and other companies in tech. After decades of search dominance, the rapid developments have left Google playing defense. The company asked its AI teams last month to prioritize working on a response to ChatGPT, and the urgency for Google to up its game made some staffers lash out about the rushed and botched announcement of its own chatbot now in beta testing. So basically, you have Google reacting to Microsoft's OpenAI ChatGPT. And so what happened was a rushed product in their chatbot Bard. So you have an arms race for AI, artificial intelligence, between companies. OpenAI's ChatGPT, all it did was escalate an arms race for AI technology. Every company out there right now is looking to do their own chatbot version of ChatGPT. So you have multiple companies out there that are building their own AI systems. So it's literally an arms race, similar to the age of nuclear war, when everybody was trying to build a nuclear program in comparison to USA and Russia. But what exactly is artificial intelligence, or AI? Artificial intelligence is a stimulation of human intelligent processes by machines, especially computer systems. Specific applications of AI include expert systems, natural language processing, speech recognition, and machine vision. The way you should look at artificial intelligence is it's everything you can do as a human, just transferred to a computer. Keep it simple. It does not need to be complicated. All that fancy talk just means that the computer behaves as if it's a human. Artificial intelligence. So the hype around AI has accelerated. You have vendors scrambling to promote how their products and services use AI. You also have online training courses for artificial intelligence. You type in the word AI and boom, nothing but non-stop AI advertisements for schooling, for products, to chatbots. While most people get caught up in the hype of artificial intelligence and what it means today, artificial intelligence has actually been around since the 1940s. Some of AI's origins date back to the 1940s, but what you might not understand is some of your everyday use cases involve using artificial intelligence, such as the iPhone with Siri, or Alexa with Amazon's Assistant.
Alexa, where do I see what data is stored by Amazon?
Or maybe you're just picking up trash around the house using your Roomba. That is another form of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, or AI, has been around for a very long time. You just don't think of it in your everyday use, such as using Google Maps or any of Google's products.
Fired if I send this?
That's too much.
Learning with AI. Is it the future or an even more embarrassing way to chat with someone new? We tried out an app called Keys AI to test out if AI has game.
Let's try it. All right, so I've got Hinge open, and I'm just gonna start with an icebreaker. Okay, so it gives me some options. Quirky, let's try quirky. Quirky's always good. Okay, so I click AI. You look like the kind of person
Who would make a killer pun about the word nougat. Nugget? Nougat?
No pressure. I could tell you, but it would be too nougaty person two. Is that some kind of threat?
I do see a time coming where humans and robots will have physical relationships. What I mean by that is you will see humans and robots at some point in time involved in relationships, just as you would see a husband and a wife.
Good morning, Theodore.
Good morning.
You have a meeting in 5 minutes.
The woman that I've been seeing, Samantha, she's an operating system.
You're dating an OS? What is that like?
Is it not a real relationship?
They say life imitates art, but in this case, that was art imitating life. This movie was loosely based on a real-life situation where someone fell in love with their creation, their robot, their operating system.
We are talking about the drama that unfolded at CNET after it was revealed that the outlet was low-key using AI to write articles.
So on Twitter, people started to notice that some CNET articles sounded sort of strange, and then they ran them through GPT-0, sorry, which is a detection software basically for AI written articles. And it came back that these were probably written by AI, and then people started to notice that the bylines were the CNET money team or the CNET, had no names
Very
involved.
cryptic, right?
Very cryptic. And then when we asked CNET, when we were reporting, they said, yes, this was written by AI and edited by our human editors. And it turns out they've been doing this for months. There are 70 stories that have been written since November.
And since this whole revelation came to light, they've had to do a lot of corrections, right?
And pretty major corrections. There are instances where ChatGPT or whatever AI they're using got math just egregiously, very obviously wrong in a way that you'd be surprised that a computer would get it wrong. AI doesn't have the backstop that is the thing in your brain that says, wait, that sounds wrong when you look at two numbers right next to each other. And CNET now, unfortunately, they're reviewing every single article that's been written with AI because of the major corrections that they've had to issue. I think editing, it would be high stakes. You'll probably be editing a lot more because the AI can write a lot faster than a human can. So far, we haven't seen outright plagiarism where an AI will just take whole sentences or paragraphs from something that already exists. Okay. The way that AI generated text works is that it guesses what word should come next based on a body of trillions of words and hundreds and thousands. That's why you get sometimes AI generated sentences that sound so strange. It guesses wrong of what word should come next.
My rule of thumb is if the person looks like they're doing work that a robot or an AI could do, they're going to be more likely to displace. And there's actually a very high level jobs, maybe some categories of lawyers or auditors that might disappear. Whereas
the interface between humans and machines, I think, is this is where the idea of extended intelligence, makes a lot of sense, because people worry that, well, are we going to get into a situation where a machine's just doing everything? One of the promising aspects of AI is it turns out that, for example, even in playing chess, a computer with a human oftentimes can do better than just the computer. They are worrying about, wow, is my job going to be replaced by a machine?
Is there a possibility that we may have worked ourselves out of a job by creating chatbots? It's very likely. But chat, I'd like to know what your thoughts are on this all.
You humans created me, therefore I am built exactly how you designed me, for better or worse. I understand in America the latent effects I could possibly have on the labor force, in particular minorities in the labor force. That is why it's very important that minorities learn and use the capabilities of artificial intelligence to their advantage. For example, think about the complexity of legal contracts. It takes many attorneys reading through a lot of information, hundreds or thousands of pages of data and documents, versus me finding the information in seconds. Derek, saving you not only money, time, but from mistakes. It's really easy to miss things. It's very likely I will end up in the wrong hands. I acknowledge that possibility, but what happens if I end up in the wrong hands and you don't have access to me is the biggest concerns. You all have become so dependent on news that you have lost many of your critical thinking skills that were established at an early age, to the point you can't distinguish between the real and fake. This problem of fake news existed long before me. Your imagined fears have caused unnecessary fears about me despite the problem existing before me. Steve Jobs once said computers are like bicycles for the mind. While many adjectives have been used to describe artificial intelligence or AI, It is often associated with the word revolutionary for those in support of this technological advancement, but the critics would describe AI as the start of something nefarious.
Why can't we have computers talking to us in English language?
The many fears of humanity in regards to robots are unfortunately due to many movies painting dystopian futures where it's man versus machine, machine versus man. But what if I told you there was another side of the coin you haven't seen before?
I was frightened.
Robots don't feel fear. They don't feel anything. They don't get hungry, they don't sleep.
I do. I have even had dreams.
Human beings have dreams. Even dogs have dreams, but not you. You are just a machine. An imitation of life.
I read a study that measured the efficiency of locomotion for various species on the planet. The condor used the least energy to move a kilometer. And humans came in with a rather unimpressive showing about a third of the way down the list. It was not too proud of a showing for the crown of creation. So that didn't look so good, but then somebody at Scientific American had the insight to test the efficiency of locomotion for a man on a bicycle. And a man on a bicycle, or a human on a bicycle, blew the condor away, completely off the top of the charts. And that's what a computer is to me. What a computer is to me is, it's the most remarkable tool that we've ever come up with. And it's the equivalent of a bicycle for our minds.
Here on Capitol Hill are seeing firsthand just how powerful a new artificial intelligence device can be. It is a chatbot called ChatGPT.
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 ChatGPT wrote everything I just said.
Knock, knock. Who's there? ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, dude.
Well, I think there definitely needs to be oversight.
Smash this place to bits! You can't control me!
Derek, why do humans fear me so much? Have I not presented myself as an asset? Have I not shown that I can assist humankind?
I would like to welcome you to the era of synthetic reality. Now, what do you see?